What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period.
And we just unpacking
Not a
today.
freaking little song.
Y'all, we finna change the name of our podcast to U-Haul because we are unpacking boots.
Okay, let me tell you something. U-Haul, you bet not fall.
Okay.
Rafts to the OD Podcast. You did what I'm saying? Yeah, that way. You know the vibes. You know what's going on. You know what it is.
Oh.
All right, y'all. So we are recording 2 episodes this week. So if what we're saying is outdated, our opinions might change next week. We don't know. It don't matter. But this is what's going on right now here today. Sometimes I listen to the show and I listen to something I said and my mind be done change 72 hours later.
I changed my mind in hours, like 2 hours.
My mind changed as the words roll off my tongue.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Okay, all right. Okay, you're bullying. Okay, so let's get right into the episode. You got a Black Business of the Week?
One of my good friends, Flocka Lynn on Instagram, has a brand called Stay Positive, which is she sells merch like hats, different styles of hats, hoodies, t-shirts, bags. Like she has a whole bunch of stuff, but she basically the message behind it, of course, is to just stay positive through any type of situation, especially during this time right now. And she just extended her line and she made some hoodies with some really good affirmations on it. So I decided to support, of course, my friend. But you should check her out. You can go to her personal page, which is Flocka Lynn, or her business page is, I think, Stay Positive Inc. She has some really cool merch. She has a lot of really big people that endorse her brand. Like she definitely worked hard in getting her pieces to people who I guess are famous. I guess I can say that. But yeah.
Okay, so I will put the episode. I'll put her Instagram and website in the episode notes per use. You know the vibe. All right, so let's get into shop talk. All right, so what's gonna be relevant this time next week?
Bobby Shmurda is out of jail.
Oh Jesus! By this time next week, he's gonna have 4 new baby mamas. Because at this point,
okay, like he's out of jail. That he already has on Telfar. He's already getting solicited for sex because he's posting pictures with no shirts and underwear on.
First of all, I genuinely do understand like him being all over the place because he just got out of prison. But why we got to report on it every second? Bobby Shmurda just blinked his right eyelash.
Let him lay down.
That was sad. Has this man even took a nap yet? They said bro had got straight out, got some oxtails. They had him in the bed with these 4 white women. Quavo picked him up in a private jet. He had a party. And this is all cool. I get it because I have, unfortunately, I've been to several welcome home parties. Not unfortunately, I'm glad they're out, but I'm saying the fact they was in there to begin with. But it's just a whole lot. And maybe it's just because...
Why y'all ain't have me no welcome home party?
We thought you were going to go right back. I'm just playing. You ain't never went to prison, child. I'm talking about folks who don't did bids.
That was a bid. Okay.
I mean, you was there for a little...
All right.
You mad? Well, we could throw one. Let's throw one. but yeah, I get it. Folks do the most. They do a lot, and obviously, somebody who just got out of prison did 7 years is not caring about no social distancing, no COVID. I get it. Do what you got to do. Be safe, but I absolutely do understand. But yeah, it's just like they report every second, and it's interesting. Now, obviously, we're not from New York, and I don't understand the impact of New York music. But in my eyes, Bobby Shmurda had 1 song, so it's like, where did this come from? Is it because he didn't snitch? I didn't understand that.
Yeah. I was gonna make a problematic tweet about that yesterday, but I kept it to myself. But on OD Podcast, we say whatever we want to say. This is a safe space for us. And if you got a problem with what I'm about to say, suck my ass.
Oh wow.
I'm just playing. Now I was just gonna say that they treat people who get out of prison better than they treat gays.
Okay. All right.
But you know,
some would say that. Never mind.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just be weird. I'll be like, I don't know. I get it because sometimes people really didn't do nothing, and I get not snitching. I don't know.
But this is not to pick sides between the gay community and the prison community. People have not seen these people in a long time, and so I
don't care.
Okay, you're right. My bad.
People be committing crimes sometimes, for the most part. So it's not like they in there for no reason, for the most part.
All right. What are we supposed to do now?
Not have parties for people to get out of prison and have parties for people who gay. That's what we're supposed to do.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
All
shit.
right. So also,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, but I do be feeling some type of way sometimes. I'm like, girl, y'all. Anywho, go ahead.
So I did hear recently that Governor Kemp is prioritizing teachers for the distribution of the vaccine, which it should have been the case. These people literally are still working with kids who go home to their families. So let's see what the progress is with that. I have been reading a lot about COVID statistics, and the cases are decreasing. Thank you, Jesus. The deaths and the cases overall have been decreasing. I think that could be a result of the vaccine, as well as, people peeping the vaccine as progress. So now they finally want to do the right thing. Because before, a year ago it was so chaotic. People just like, whatever, this ain't never gonna end. Let's go to the club. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a thing I'm grateful for. And aside from that, I'm just so excited about the weather. This ain't shop talk, but the weather in Atlanta today is crispy, baby. Let me tell you something. I left the house today to go pick up a package from UPS, and I'm talking about, I heard that what song do you hear when you ride in a sunny day? Dun-dun-dun, in California.
No sign of party.
Yeah, that's the song I heard. So I was like, let me open up the sunroof. It's random flowers and whatever it is coming from the sky flying in my car. Now I thought it was a bug. When I tell you I must hit that median, oh Jesus.
Oh my God.
I know. All right. Anyway. All right.
Allergies on the way.
A segment that we have been skipping over the last couple of weeks is tweets from the streets.
Oh, can I just say, if anybody's feeling very generous with their money, I really would enjoy this Rihanna book that she just recently came out with, and it's really large and it's very beautiful. I feel like I really need it, but it's $1,500. Um, yeah. So if you're feeling generous,
all right, y'all. So the tweet from the street this week. Okay, it says somebody tweeted. The person name is Nene the Dancer _ I got the job and I only applied yesterday, and somebody retweeted and said they about to have you selling knives. And I was curious to know if you ever had any experience with Vector.
No, I haven't. I've heard of it because Amber, I think, used to do something with Vector a long time ago.
I think she put me onto it one time, but what's funny, so she told me about it. So y'all, if y'all don't know, Vector is basically this door-to-door cutlery or knife selling company. They have been around for a very, very long time. I mean, decades. But it's one of those companies where you apply for the job and somehow right when you hit submit, you got an interview schedule, and it's literally that fast. So I remember one time I was looking for a job. This was before college probably, and I had applied, but I had spoke to somebody else who was like, "Hey, don't you do it. Don't you do it. This is what you finna be doing. You finna be." It's funny because I've never been approached by a Vector salesperson. So where they selling that? And then on top of that, to do the job, you have to buy your first set of knives. That's probably where they sales come from, the new employees who think they're going to be selling some knives. But I never seen Vector knives on the shelves. But I just thought it was funny because I just remember my time applying for a job at Vector. And I remember when I was in college, they would be on campus recruiting, and they would never be clear about how much the pay was. They'd be like, how much? I remember the girl was like, 17, 18. And you just doing regular sales. But when they be super vague about this jobs, it's always a sale. So I thought that was funny.
It's the same thing with what's the shit called? The Bitcoin shit the girls be selling online.
What?
Trying to get people sign up with, what is it called? Forex.
Well, to be clear, Forex is its own entity and it's real. It's some people that work in the Forex groups who be doing all that. Sign up, pay this. Maybe all those little pyramid schemes, to be honest, man. All those, they make it sound like this amazing thing. Oh, do you remember Wake Up Now?
Mm-mm.
Honey, I don't even want them to be doing. I don't even want them listening, trying to send us a recruiter email. So let's move on. That's
I always loved the word Ponzi scheme, and I ain't never know what it was until people was playing that game on Instagram, the Ponzi scheme game. Like in the beginning of the pandemic, they was playing like bingo on Instagram. Remember?
And oh yeah.
Listen, this pandemic has been long. We had a lot of stuff going on.
So I have a person that I know whose partner was doing that, and he was like trying to recoup his money so bad. He was asking any and everybody. First of all, anybody that participated in that, I'm sorry, Why?
My friends did it, and they was like, "We made
The
money."
thing is, it could be legit for people that play their part, but some people don't pay their money, and now you ain't got nothing, Dodo. And the person who recruited you just recoup their money through you, and the cycle continues. But yes, oh my God. So yes, oh my God,
I
that
never knew what a Ponzi scheme was, and because I think Nene said it on the Housewives one time, and I just never let it go because she's so country. Like, because you want to be up there doing Ponzi schemes.
oh my God. To be honest though, it's a lot of. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I could be wrong. I won't use bedroom candy, but I'll say pure romance on pure romance parties. You basically have to like invest in your kid. You have these events. The events be like $400, and then you recoup money by the sales that you have. It's like a lot of these little businesses be like the Avon might be considered one of them.
Oh, for sure.
It's so funny, Mary Kay, and it's so funny because I think we talked about pyramid schemes and stuff on this show, but it's so interesting the people who selling it, they turn into a different kind of person, like the way they talk to you, the way they
It
act.
make you not even want to be their friend.
The people that's selling this tea, these sachets, these what's that stuff? NutriBurst. All y'all are Ponzist. Rapunzel.
Is that a word?
They is now. Stamp.
Okay.
And just so y'all know, today is February 25th. So if y'all come up with that word after today, I said it first. So anyway, okay, cool. So let us get into
Ponzist. Keep it on the shirt.
puns is no, thank you. But no, okay. So for this week's topic, Draco had another topic for us. I'm gonna let him introduce it or whatever. I don't know how you want to.
I don't know how I'm gonna bring this to the table. So me and Alicia were having a conversation before we started the episode. We were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about. So I was explaining to her. I was just trying to get her advice on if I should mind my business or not. Okay. So as of recently, I think that people have been very, very, very sex positive over the years. It's just become like a known thing to just be kind of open about your sexuality, whether what type of sexual practices you do in the bedroom. Everything has just been very, very, very open and very everybody been free about it, which
very
is cool.
Carefree, yeah. Basically, they said it right.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I actually like that. Like, I feel like it makes people, including myself, just feel more comfortable in talking about sex and just getting advice from people, just and people just being more comfortable with it because we're in reality. Especially when dealing with men, Black men in particular, it's a lot of stuff that they enjoy and they have to go out and seek it from other places because they're afraid of being judged by their partner or people that they're dating or just people that are around. So I feel like as of now, a lot of people are getting more comfortable with that, but that's besides the point. Okay. My question came in because I was having a conversation with one of my friends who I think is a sex addict, okay? And I feel like whenever these conversations are brought up, people are always like, you need to just mind your business. That has nothing to do with you. In reality, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with me. But I feel like when you have somebody that you care about, whether it's a friend, family member, and you find out that they're doing things that may be a little bit reckless and just all over the place, especially if you know that they're better than that. Or I look at stuff like that, for me, I look at stuff like that as like signs of mental illness or that's not funny.
No, it's not. You're tripping. Why are you laughing? Wow.
I look at that as signs of like mental illness or like you have something going on and this is the way that you're coping with it by doing these things because it's extreme. Like it's like some extreme shit. And I don't want to get into detail, but I was explaining to Alicia and I'm like, am I tripping for just trying to talk this person out of this or trying to advise them to talk to a therapist or something? Because I feel like this is just entirely too much. But I think what I'm trying to get at, the topic for us today is, at what point do you make it your business? Because people always say, that's none of your business, blah, blah, blah. But at what point do you make it your business? Because if something were to happen to them in the long run, and it could be something that they could have prevented just by being more careful and not be so carefree. And you feel, I don't know. I know I can't be Captain Save-A-Ho for everybody. No pun intended. But
you ain't have to go that far.
okay. I just,
Say less. Go ahead.
I know I can't save everybody, but I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, and just being a close friend or a family member or just somebody that you love, and you just have a conversation with them and just let them know, what you're doing. I understand you probably think that it's fun and you're enjoying yourself, but this is reckless. And I think you should kind of like relax a little bit because I just don't want to see nothing happen.
Yeah.
What point do you make it your business to say stuff like that?
So I think this is a very complicated topic. Not like we can't talk about it, but it's one of those things where I don't think you can address them all the same way. I think that for me, first things first, if I have a friend if it wasn't clear to me that they were living this particular lifestyle or making these particular decisions, I think that I would probably mention it on the first notice of it, especially if we have a good relationship. Like, let's say, like I had a friend that I was friends with for a long time. Everything was cool. Then I noticed she just was like messing with a lot of like, I'm like, girl, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. And if she explained it to me and it don't seem like what I thought, okay, I'm gonna let it ride because I addressed it, and now I'm finna see. We see each other. But I think that but I also think that
well, we don't.
Right, because this is the thing too. What I was gonna initially say is a lot of times when people are doing things that I don't approve of or I think is weird, I honestly tend to distance myself to begin with. So even though I don't say nothing, because some people we're at the point where we're really grown, and people for the most part, people are not doing things unknowingly. Like they are well aware of the decisions they make and the risk. And if you say something about it, they don't want to hear it. It's just like, let me do what I want to do. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, they grown, mind your business. But if it's hurtful to their life or other lives, I feel like when it's a point where it makes you uncomfortable, then you need to say something. Now, how you say it is a whole nother topic, because it's kind of like, what can you say without offending that person? Because let's say if a person is having a lot of sex and they love it, they're doing very particular freaky things, it's like, well, sex isn't illegal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, are you using protection? Because then I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I would just be like, I think I would try to understand it first. You know what I'm saying? Be like, so what? When you do that, like, what makes you do that? Is it because you're single? You know what I'm saying? Try to get an understanding, because I don't think there's a right way to approach somebody about a habit without them like taking it the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think that for me, I don't want it to sound like I'm just policing their sexual activity, because it's not that. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You're single, you whatever. You're a grown person. But I think that when the reason why I say it's like reckless is because you're out here literally in the streets doing stuff for randos and like in the most random places, and it's not safe. Like, you can easily get caught and go to jail, and now you have a criminal record of public indecency, and now you have to register as a sex offender. It gets deep, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, you gotta chill.
And that's not something you want on your record. Like, I mean, honestly, even a slight misunderstanding could become a sex offense. A sex offense. Yeah,
because there's a lot of people that are registered sex offenders, and realistically, they probably didn't even do much.
Yeah, they could have just touched somebody's butt at the club, and that's sexual assault. I mean, not that that's not okay. I mean, not that that's a small thing, but it's like that one title applies to all things, in that aspect.
Yeah. So you just don't want to, because it's not going to basically tell, like, when you get registered as a sex offender, it's not going to say level 1, level 2, level 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to have tiers of what you did. It's just going to have you register. So you're going to be in the same category as child molesters, rapists, all type of things. And honestly, you probably weren't even doing nothing like that. That's where I come in at, because in my head, I'm like, you're better than that. And you don't want to be in that category. Like, if you're going to do something, you need to do something that A, is safe and B, legal.
Now, when you talk to them about this, though, are you saying it to them in a way to make them stop? I guess that would be my question too, because it's like, okay, so if I'm about to address this with this person, I don't expect them to just stop it right here and right now, but what am I looking to gain from their behavior after this?
When I bring it up piece by piece, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not trying to bring it all to the table, but I think that I kind of just really unloaded on them this week because every time I would bring something to the table, they would brush it off or act like they don't know what I'm talking about or it's not that deep.
Yeah, and it's probably because
And
they
I'm like,
know it's probably
okay,
not the smart thing to be doing, so they just
yeah.
won't.
So when
Yeah,
I
people
brought,
don't like being held accountable, and not that they need to be held accountable, but they don't like to be faced with their decision making.
yeah,
If that makes
and
sense.
I explained to them, and you know, when I brought it up, and I said, I just want you to understand that I'm not coming at you at a judgmental or in a judgmental tone, and I'm not coming at you as a judgmental person. I'm coming to you as a concerned
As a
friend.
woman.
I'm not that. I don't have that. Uh, I'm coming to you as a concerned friend, and I don't want nothing to happen to you, and then it could be something that I could have prevented just by trying to look out for my friend. Now I'm like, it doesn't have to work that way because I understand you're grown. You're going to continue to do it if you want to do it. But I'm like, you know, I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't come to you and at least try to talk to you about it.
You
know
know,
what I'm
that's very
saying?
mature of you because I will just cut them off, I think.
You know what? So I've learned that I approach situations like that, and a lot of times things could be looked at, could be fixed if I just talk it out. Like I'm just not a person that likes to talk things through. I'm like, honestly, if I don't see it, I don't see it. Bye.
Yeah,
But
that's me. I don't even
but you know
it
what I'm
could be a
saying?
little
Like
blurry and
I
I ain't
don't
gonna
like to
see it.
do that to people that I care about because I try to put myself in their shoes and just try to see like how they were raised. Like I go deep. Like I try to see like how they were raised, how they talk, what their relationship with their parents is like, what their relationships with their siblings are like.
I do that after I cut them off. I'd be like, that must have been because her auntie used to be
Oh
such.
my god, like signs of abuse, like they were abused
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah.
child, like different things. I try to like take all of that into consideration, and then once I express myself and try to help them through it. If it's still to a point where it makes me uncomfortable, that's when I'll be like, you know what, I'm not really, I can't really
Yeah.
rock it off. But
Man, I really don't even know. So I know someone. I mean, I guess you could say we're friends. We know each other, but they, a long time ago, they expressed to me that they like participate in random acts of sex, and by random acts, it's like one of those things where you can make a certain eye contact with somebody, and they know exactly what you mean. Do you remember when we was younger?
yes,
There was, you know what I'm about to say?
no, but I'm saying that's kind of how my friend does.
I want to just talk about this quick. It's kind of irrelevant, I guess, but I remember when we was younger, there was somebody who got caught in the airport who had some kind of popularity, and they were participating in this thing where if they put their foot under the door
It's
to
called
let.
cruising.
Oh, so they still do it. Okay, got it. But
Cruising is very, very, very popular. Like I'm gonna just say that I'm a very, 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 very curious person. Okay.
I know that's
Um,
right, Draco. You better get your rocks off.
no. It's not even that. I think that I genuinely be want to know like what like what people get out of certain things
Mm-hmm.
and where does it come from? Like, because it's so weird to me. And the only reason why I be looking into it is because I've walked in on a few situations that just really made me uncomfortable to the point where I don't even like to use public bathrooms like that unless I'm going in there with my friends.
Yeah.
I had an incident when I was I was at Cumberland Mall, and I went to the bathroom, and it was the food court bathroom. Apparently, that's a cruising spot for men, and it was a lot going on in there. They was doing like all the stalls had men in there, and the doors were open, and they were like collectively masturbating. And I walked in
Really?
on it, and I'm like, I mean, you can look at me and
How do
tell
you
that I'm
that? You
attracted
see
to
that when they
men.
first walk in? Like, how do you know who the
Well,
crew?
the way the bathroom is set up, the stalls are in the back of the bathroom. So you walk to the urinals at first. The first thing that I think about when I see stuff like that is that this is the reason why I will never, if I ever have kids, I could never let them go in the bathroom by themselves. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I
Ever,
mean,
ever,
you
ever,
know,
ever.
one of our old coworkers was in a situation like this.
Yeah. Like I'm like, what if my child was in there or my nephew or my niece or somebody walked in, they saw some shit like that? I would go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. You
You know what
should.
I'm saying? So even with me alone, just walking in on something like that, it just made me so uncomfortable. Like I've walked in on situations like that plenty of times. I walked in on stuff like that in Macy's before. In like
Wow. I don't know if I've ever experienced that, I must have been really oblivious.
Like even when we were younger, I never said nothing, but like even when we used to get out of school or like get off work and we would go to the underground bathroom was a cruising spot. I didn't know nothing about that when I was
So
younger,
you was
but in
out
that
there
bathroom,
cruising while I was in there getting samples of chicken teriyaki. That's crazy.
I wasn't cruising nothing.
You was parking.
I was just trying to pee.
You like, hold on, skirt.
If you ever notice when I use bathrooms in public, I would literally go to the family bathroom.
I never noticed. It was never, you wasn't even out to me technically, so I ain't know nothing. You just left me in the dark. You just left me and BB out in the dark. Well, we had new though.
This ain't got nothing to do with me right now.
No, okay, let's get back to the subject.
But I'm just saying, like in general. So when things like that happen, I'm just like, I mean, like it's certain parks people go to, the airport bathroom.
Yeah. That's what exactly what I was about to get at. My friend who said they participate in these random acts said that he it's a guy. He said he did it in a bathroom at the airport. And he told me that that he has gone to a park and did it like on a bench. It's just like,
yeah.
What is, and it's to me, it's just so
park bathrooms, like stuff like that. I do not go to. I would literally pee on a tree.
They be doing it on the tree too. I think for me, and this is obviously because I guess I live a different lifestyle, but is there no fear? Like I know y'all not using protection every time. It's just not likely. But is there not a fear of catching something? You know what I'm saying? It's just,
I don't know. But see,
pregnancy.
a lot of times when people do cruising, they're not actually having sex, like actual intercourse. They're not even touching each other. It's more so like a mutual masturbation type thing, if I'm not mistaken.
But how do you know if the other person's doing it if they in the other stall? If you're a cruiser and you listening, please message us because I'm genuinely interested. I'm not trying to be funny.
Well, I'll be finding like cruising pages on Twitter. I don't be wanting to send you stuff like that because
please don't, because it's gonna mess up my algorithm. And I be doggone. I open up Instagram and some cruisers, and they ain't talking about Chevy.
I know people. I hope people who listen to this ain't be like, this boy is really spilling tea. He don't need to be telling people that. I'm sorry.
What I mean, I learned from it on the news, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in day-to-day life that we wouldn't consider normal that people know about, and people expose it on this little old podcast is not gonna change the game for y'all. So keep cruising, but be safe. Put your seatbelt on.
Nah, but I just look at stuff. I'm like, damn, like it be certain like train station platforms, like because these people know the spots. Like people who do that, they know what spots to go to.
Yeah,
they know what spots to go to, and they know, so it's like if you see somebody just there and they're not moving, like if you see somebody just standing in a stall in the bathroom and they're not using the bathroom, they just
how do you know if they're using it or not though?
I mean,
I be too busy trying to make sure I don't sit on the seat. I guess I don't be paying no attention.
Are you gonna stand in the stall with your pants to your ankles and your back turned to the toilet? What are you doing? You can't do number 2 like that, and you can't do number 1.
They probably thinking. They probably have
pants and their drawers and their ankle to their ankle.
Man, I don't know. I've never been to men's. Well, I have been to men's bathroom, but I ain't never been to men's.
I don't even use the gym bathroom when I go to the gym.
I cannot believe this is like
the gym showers is like the worst.
So with this in mind, what makes you look at your friend differently? Is it because you know a cruiser in real life?
Yeah, I'd be like, because he's into so much stuff that I'm just like.
How did you find out about this? I know you told me.
I found out because for one, word of mouth. Like I've heard situations of like people just saying like, "Oh, your friend was at this one party we was there." And I'm like, "What kind of party was that?" Or like I've had friends, or because we all in the same community. People talk, and then like we're friends. And so he's open to me about it. It's not like he keeps a lot of stuff a secret, but I think when it gets that extreme, of course, he didn't tell me. I just found out on my own, and I brought it up to him. He was like, "People talk too much. Like, how do you even know this?" And then now he's open up.
How they know Bolo was there?
Yeah. So now they opened up, and
but the good thing is he is at least like it's not like he's trying to hide it per se. I mean, there's some stuff hidden, so I think that makes it easier to have.
Like he'll literally call me after he do it, and I'm like,
"Oh God,
how does that make
you his trusted advisor?"
Yeah, but it also makes me uncomfortable because I don't want him to be doing that.
Yeah, I agree. So in that situation, because he has at least brought it to your attention, it's not like he's hiding it from you per se. Maybe he's hiding some things, but not all of it. I will legit be like, look, man, I'd be worried about you when you out here on these strolls. For real, for real. Last thing I want to happen to you is this, and this. So I watched this show. Okay, there's this British girl named Zizi Mills. She has a YouTube show on I was about to say a YouTube show on YouTube. But this week she had a guest who was sex trafficked at 16, and it really changed my perspective on sex freedom. It really did. And the reason why is because the way that they were exploiting this young lady, I mean, she's an adult now, and they were just a lot of things that they were doing. It just makes me fearful of people. Like, okay, I agree that people should be sex positive. You should do exactly what you want to do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you want to sell it, be safe. You know, all these things. It just makes me worried that they become more susceptible or vulnerable to something happening to them.
Yeah.
And I remember it's been a couple times when I used to work in a mall that I would get approached by like certain types of people, and I always used to wonder what was that about. They would come up to me, they'd be like, Chanel, Brittany, as if they're looking for somebody. They probably don't know. I don't know. I just used to feel they was scouting basically. And one of my friends, she had actually gotten a card from this Asian lady who was like, "Hey, we looking for like massage girls." And then the card got a website. You go to the website. It's like very vague. Anyway, for me, it's just because sex trafficking is so high and extreme, especially in Atlanta, it does make me now worry knowing what I've learned that like you can't tell who from what. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who's doing it against their will. You don't know who's doing it for themselves. And it's just kind of scary. And I don't know. I mean, again, some of it's none of my business if somebody's doing it willingly, but it does kind of makes it easier for this stuff to be very in our face and we not have like an idea about it.
Yeah.
And people, we obviously don't feel like people should be sexualized because they want to act or look or be a certain kind of way, but that is happening. And it's like, what about the dangers to that? I don't know. And I'm still kind of working through my thoughts on it because the episode was so traumatizing. I just couldn't believe the stuff that she was saying happened to her. I mean, I believe it, obviously, but it was just so shocking to me. And it's like, dang, like, this could be all these people that we know, OnlyFans. It's just, I don't know. It was just interesting. But
Do that a lot with drugs too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a person that has a problem with weed. I used to smoke weed. It's not for me. I do like CBD and I do eat edibles from that like sometimes.
I had
But
2 CBD gummies left, 4, and they were all nasty. It tasted like weed. I might as well ate a blunt. But go ahead. I'm
did they
like, what
work
the
though?
freak? I mean, no, they didn't actually. I took them for my migraines, and I'm just like, what the freak? I'd rather had a headache. The heck is this?
But I've had a situation where one of our friends, our old friends, were sick, and a part of their sickness was they had bronchitis, and so I was talking to a group of our other friends, and they were hiding this illness from us. So I told them, I said, "Hey, I don't think this person is well." I said, "I've had
This
a
the
lot of
person
people."
I sent you a picture of that time when I seen them.
This is the one who used to work with you.
Yes, remember when I first saw him, and I sent you that picture, and I was like, he looks sick. Like something was wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is, I have had family members that have certain illnesses, and I can tell, like, when you have certain illnesses, you can look at somebody and tell, like, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Hair texture change, skin colors change. I mean, like, a lot of different things. And I'm like, they didn't look well. And then they
Yes,
ended up
he looked like a complete. I mean, like I knew it was him, but I knew it was like,
a completely different person.
yeah, it was weird. Like genetic makeup, everything was different.
Yeah. So, I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, and he has, like, really bad, like, coughing, like lung problems or something. So they were saying that they invited him over to smoke. And I said,
Oh my God. Yeah, he used to cough a
what?
lot.
And they was like, yeah, he wanted to smoke weed. And I was like, why the fuck would you let him smoke? Like, why would you
Oh
do
my
that?
God. Oh my God. Oh my
Do you
God.
not know they cussed me
That
out?
annoys me because I worked with him up until he passed away, and he was very sick.
Yeah, and I was mad. Like, I started going off and they cussed me out. They was like,
Oh my
you need to
God.
mind your business. They grown.
They be
He can do
wrong
whatever he
people,
want to
man.
do. And dude, I'm like, but I'm like, so you would literally do something to harm him? And so, um, Basically, okay, I don't mean, well, I guess I can't say because I want to just say what they said to me that was just so fucking offensive. So basically, I expressed to them what I felt was going on with them, and they were like, "How you gonna say that about somebody you don't know?" I
The
heard
whole time that's what it was.
yeah,
Wow.
I was 100% right.
I mean, I get people wanting to protect somebody. I totally understand that. But don't you try to go off on me. I feel like, huh?
Don't be in denial and don't go off on me for trying to help.
Exactly. You know, now it's one thing, exactly, especially consider how close this person was in like y'all's relationship. A lot of people, he was close with a lot of people. So I think that it is one thing to protect that person's business. Yes, I don't think it's fair to be going around telling somebody what somebody's illness is if it didn't come out of their mouth. However, if I bring it up, there's a way to go about that. You know what I'm saying? It should be like, I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't know. It's just instead of being super defensive, especially if you're one of the people contributing to the part of it, like the reason why he's having the reactions he's having, it's like, okay, you're not helping the situation.
Do you know they told me they was like, well, one of the symptoms is a big belly too, so you need to go check yourself.
Dang, people be hitting below the belt when they wrong. That's crazy. And that, oh my God, that makes me so, I felt so bad for him. Like I ain't know nothing. I'm just like something. So, you know, I have a little brother that passed from cancer. He went through chemo, and chemo changes your look drastically. So I thought that his side of, to me, the way he looked like was somebody who had been through
Same
chemo.
side effects, but I always tell people, I'm like, usually if people have cancer, they would say it. No shade.
Well, Chadwick Boseman didn't. Maybe they don't want to be. I mean, sometimes people don't want sympathy, but I agree. They might say something. I mean, it's because it's one of those things. You sick so much, you kind of gotta account for like your absences, because he was missing work a lot, and I just didn't know what was going on. I never bothered to ask because I could tell something sensitive was going on, but I never suspected what the real cause was.
I don't know. I think about all that type of stuff when it comes to when I see my friends do reckless things, and I'm like, you know, I've been through this. I've been down this road 4 or 5 times with friends and family members, and it never ended well.
Do you feel obligated to remain their friend to see them through this issue? Like, do you feel guilty if you put them on?
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I actually was after the conversation, and I realized that they didn't want to do anything to change it. Like I don't want you to feel obligated to change just because I want you to change. But in the same breath, I just don't want to have that burden over my shoulder as my friend and just always thinking about that. And then you not doing this to better yourself. Like that makes me not even want to be around you for real.
Yeah, I think all that comes into play. I agree. I think that sometimes
I also be feeling bad because I don't want it to be a situation where it's like, oh, Draco just doesn't want to be my friend because I do this. Like that sounds very.
I mean, but what's wrong with that? Honestly, because are you gonna be friends with somebody who steals from people that you're close to, or somebody who's like abusing drugs so much that they're getting in car accidents or they're doing disrespectful things to people? I think at some point people need to be held accountable, and I think that remaining their friend and supporting their habit in case by case can be coddling or enabling. You know what I'm saying? If you need everybody to cut you off because of your issues, then maybe that's what you need to see to realize how much of a negative impact it's having. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people kind of like try to reaffirm folk that there's somebody be like let's say somebody who drinks a lot, and every time they drink they get into an accident, they get into a fight, they break stuff, throw up, whatever. People be like, I mean, long as you drink around folks you trust, or it ain't like you out here doing crack. And it's like, no, the problem is you're an alcoholic. You like these, and it's okay to drink alcohol clearly, but you need to realize your limits and what it's making you do when you get to this point. Like, I think that all that contributes to it. Now, we are all grown people, make wise decisions, but sometimes people, you know, me and you both, we've grown up and looked back and being like, I wish somebody would have told me about this when I was younger.
For sure.
Like, but it's also on the same hand, it's like when something happens, they'll be like, why his friends let him do that? But sometimes you can't. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, it's such a complex. I don't even know where my stance is on it, because I feel like it's so case by case. It's so sensitive. It's just like, unfortunately for me, when I've had these situations, I just watch from a distance, because I don't like. I'm super zero tolerance on so many things. Now I can say something, but I just cannot go on. Like, it's going to make me not want to be around you certain times, not want to invite you, especially if what I'm doing is a certain thing that I feel like might showcase that thing you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really judgy though. I'm not going to lie. So it's just like, I mean, I've
I
come.
try not to because I've definitely been a very, very, very judgmental person, and so I just sat down and sat in my own shit. I'm just like, honestly, just looking back on some stuff that I've done in the past, even some stuff that I've done 2 days
But
ago.
how far? I'm about to say, how long ago do you consider past? Because if you was 2021, it's like you can't even think about that because that was a time where you should
Yeah,
have been learning. But now we in
but
our
even like
30s.
certain things that I've done recently, I'm like,
What you
that wasn't
do?
right. I ain't doing nothing crazy now.
I seen you in that. No man,
Say it.
you was in that cruise shop. You
Yeah, it
said
was.
you know Tom Cruise.
It was the Carnival cruise.
Okay, cruise line. You did what I'm saying. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Do you think that you might have some things that you do that people be like, I don't want to be Draco friend no more because he be doing this?
Um, it would have to be me being judgmental.
Oh,
Sometimes they probably feel like I'm judgmental because I look down on a lot of stuff, and it don't even be me looking down on it. I guess it's just me like I don't know. I just feel like I'm older, and I've just be feel like certain stuff is things that are things that we should have been doing as a kid or experienced as we were
you should be
younger.
past it by now.
Yeah, so in my head, I'm like that's just childish, and I don't know. Like my friends tell me all the time that they feel like I'm judgmental, but I'm like, I'm not. I just be feeling like I care too much. But that makes me not even want to say nothing, don't even want to be around because I don't even want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely judgmental, but I will say my friends are not the people that have to worry about me judging because the people I judge, I already cut them off.
Oh well. One thing about you,
I know, I know. I mean,
you
I can't
care.
even say I'm not proud of it because I literally don't care. It doesn't negatively impact me. So, maybe one day in life I'll be like, dang, I wish I had 100 friends. And I do have 100 friends somehow, some kind of way, but not close friends.
Until they
So,
start asking for money.
yeah, okay, hello, goodbye. Literally, that's the conversation. So I guess the moral of the story is, if your friend is or someone you care about is doing something that could be dangerous to themselves or others, you should absolutely bring it up. And they may not want to hear it, and you may not even want to have that conversation. But the last thing you want is them to be in a situation where they cannot hit reverse. And I don't mean that because of the cruise thing, but you don't want them to be in a situation where you feel partly responsible because you enabled it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm at with it. Now, if I tell you and you still do it and it happened, they ain't got nothing to do with me.
It sure don't, and you don't either. Next caller.
Just don't tie me to it.
Okay, they be like, well, he be hanging with Draco. I'm sure folks be saying that.
I know. That's another reason why I'd be like, hello,
They
consider your
be
surroundings.
like, he do makeup. They ain't the only thing he be making up.
He be out there in LA with them folks.
With them yanks. Oh my goodness. Well, all right. Well, do you have anything else to add to the situation at hand?
Let's talk about how you can't do shit for a bitch.
Okay, for them puppies.
Huh?
Huh? Well, all right then. So by the time we have another episode, will you be back in Georgia, or do you know what your life is looking like?
As of now, I will be.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
because I come back on next week on Tuesday, but I'm gonna be coming from San Diego, and I know I'm gonna be tired, so that's why I'm like, let's just go ahead and do this
Oh my
episode.
God, I wish I could go to San Diego. My old roommate lives there, and I just want to drive down to Tijuana and cross right back over, so I can say I went to Mexico.
I'll do that.
No, I don't
I
want
was
to turn
supposed
into a mule.
I was supposed to do it last time I went to the Bay. I think I was in San. I don't know, but they were saying Mexico was 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah, it was definitely in San Diego because the Bay is not close to San Diego. It's like 7 hour drive.
Oh, maybe they were from the Bay.
Yeah, probably.
No, I was in San Jose.
San Jose is in the Bay. That's where I used to live.
Oh, I was in San Jose then, so it was the Bay.
Yeah, you weren't close to Mexico though, honey, because I would have went. Okay.
Oh, whatever they were trying to act like it was Mexico.
San Diego is what's at it's at the border.
Stop talking to me.
Maybe it had a Mexican bar and lounge.
They were saying like they had went to Mexico the night before and got drunk.
Yeah, you might have been in San Diego.
No, we went.
My roommate, when I lived in San
I went to
Jose,
San Diego.
okay, because I'm about to say my
I went
roommate.
to San Jose on tour.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, because that's one. Okay, yeah, because we went to that's near Oakland.
Yes, kind of.
Okay,
I mean, yes, it's not far. It's like an hour, but it's in the Bay. It's all the Bay Area. But San Jose
okay.
is definitely at least 7 hours because my roommate's husband drove from San Diego to see us in the Bay or see her. Well,
I heard that Sweetie from one of them parts. She not from the Bay. She from
she
there.
is literally from where I live, Santa Clara, which is next to Santa Clara and San Jose is like College Park and East Point.
But it's like very nice. It's not the hood.
It's not the hood, but I bet you it's some parts that people would say was the hood, but it's literally not. I remember walking like, okay, this ain't the nicest part, but it's definitely not hood. But it was very nice. Where I lived was very. I mean, it's not that big of a city, but it's no hood. If you ask me, the hood people would probably say is in Oakland
Yeah. Well, I'm going there,
and San
and
Francisco.
I'll be back on the 2nd, whenever that is, or the third, second or the third. Then I have to go to Vegas on the 13th.
Okay. All right. Well, safe travels. Maybe we'll
Sisterhood on the traveling pants.
Okay, goodbye. Anyway, all right, y'all. See you next week or whatever week it's gonna be. Or next month. You'll never know because this episode is gonna come out next week, but you don't know what week that is.
Oh,
My games, baby girl. All right, bye.
bye, guys.